This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Therapy Online.
As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists available 100% online. Plus, it's affordable.
Just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler.
No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/poundcast.
That's betterhelp.com/poundcast.
Also, thank you to our sponsor at Trade Coffee.
If you love drinking coffee every morning, and who doesn't, you have to check out Trade Coffee. Trade makes it super easy to get the best coffee delivered fresh from the finest local roasters around the country.
Treat yourself or the coffee lover in your life with Trade Coffee. Right now, Trade is offering our listeners a total of $30 off a subscription and access to limited time holiday specials at drinktrade.com/poundcast.
That's drinktrade.com/poundcast for $30 off.
drinktrade.com/poundcast.
And this show is also brought to you by listeners and viewers like you. If you want to support the Poundcast, and you want to get the bonus unzipped extended episodes, you just go to patreon.com/poundcast. And when you sign up, you'll get access to the unzipped feed, and you'll be supporting us. And that's really how this show keeps trucking along. Is that right, Brent?
It sure is. That's patreon.com/poundcast. And you know what else the show is brought to you by?
What?
Louisville Vegan Jerky. You can find Louisville Vegan Jerky at lvjco.com, lvjco.com. And they do what they do over at Louisville Vegan Foods. They're the ones who make it. Is they make vegan jerky. It's a 100% plant-based jerky, and they've got a bunch of new small batch flavors coming out over the next few months. And so some of those flavors are cowboy steak and General Tso's. And check this out. This is kind of really exciting. They have a new small batch flavor coming out called Honey Barbecue. And honey is spelled Honee because they are not using real honey; they're using agave. And this is a special batch because it will be benefiting the amazing neighborhood they have where their factory is located in, and they'll be giving a portion of sales up to $10,000 to the community there. So they want to hit that $10,000 goal to donate this holiday season. So, keep an eye out this holiday season for Honey BBQ at lvjco.com, lvjco.com.
Also, if you want to buy all your purchases at lvjco.com, will have a 20% discount. But wait a second. Is this, what am I hearing here?
Uh-oh.
They have an exclusive offer code that'll run from December 1st to December 31st for 30% off your entire order. That code is Poundcast 30.
I cannot believe it. Oh my God.
30% off.
Poundcast 30.
Yeah. So if you've been on the fence about trying Louisville Vegan Jerky, now's your chance to get 30% off. That's from December 1st to December 31st. Poundcast 30. But if you're listening to this at any other time outside of that window, you can just use the code word Poundcast at any time for 20% off. Guys, your entire order at lvjco.com.
You cannot beat a $30 discount. I mean, a 30% discount, that is.
Yes, I mean, 30%.
That is just really something else.
You can't afford not to take advantage of this discount.
You're losing money. You're losing money by not doing this right now.
And what a great gift it would be for the holidays.
Oh, great. Yeah. And stock up for this winter season. You could stock up on this stuff. Again, that's Poundcast 30 is the special December only code word for 30% off. And you know what? Hold on a second. This just in. another news. This is headline news. Get this. This is actually a Poundcast exclusive. Louisville Vegan Foods is going to be launching the General Tso's as a forever flavor starting in December.
Wait, that's not just a small batch?
It's actually not. It's actually going to be a forever flavor. So lots of exciting things happening here at LouisvilleVeganFoods.com. And I just think
LVJco.com as well.
And that's what I meant. And you're gonna love it, and we're all loving it, and big thanks to them. And wow, we got just a great support system here. So let's keep going here.
So yeah, thank you to our sponsors. Check all of them out. They're all wonderful sponsors. And I guess anything else to announce, Brent?
YouTube.com/thepoundcast.
Is where you can watch this. That's where you can watch this show.
Yeah, you can watch us kind of do our little facial micro expressions and stuff. Hey, if you still have a Twitter account, the podcast is on there too, I guess. And so today we have a couple of my old buddies. I thought they're entertaining guys, and I thought they might be something different to have my old friend Dave and my friend James Emrich, Dave Dobie and James Emrich, get them on the show and just like see what happens. So let's get them on the show and see what happens, huh, Brent? Oh, okay. Let's see what that's like.
Okay, well, we're gonna play the theme song, and anything else?
Sorry, I mentioned this at the end of the episode, but I'll just mention this now. I had mentioned a couple times for people to try to look for tickets for this show I was doing in Cottage Grove, Oregon, but the show has actually been canceled. So clear the calendar for that one, guys.
Okay.
You guys are off the hook this time.
You're off the hook. You don't have to do that.
Exactly.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's play the theme song, and we'll bring out Dave and James. Roll the clip. Doug and Brent talking to each other. Doug and Brent, what will they talk about today? Doug and Brent are talking to some pimples. Doug and Brent will talk to their friends, and Doug and Brent talking on the Poundcast. Okay, we are here on the Poundcast with our guests, my pals, Dave Dobie and James Emrich, who has been on the show before. James and I went to Burning Man together. We did a recap of that.
Yeah, that was a good time. It was like a double-decker podcast going.
And I've known Dave since like 1996 or something. And where are you now, Dave?
I'm in Chicago. I'm at my friend Eric's house. I don't know if you remember him. Usually refer to him as my crazy friend Eric.
Yeah, I know.
From grade school.
I've been referred to as that before. Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse. No way.
Why is he called crazy?
Oh, he's just outrageous. He's just a lunatic. All girls hate him when they first meet him. He just rapes them with his eyes.
Ew.
Not cool, dude.
We'll get him on the podcast later.
No.
Yeah. Just turn off your camera in case there's any ladies listening.
Would he be open to raping us with his eyes?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. Cool. As long as he's an equal opportunity kind of guy. Yeah.
What is his vision, like 2020 or like 2069 or?
Well, Dave has been living with me in LA, but he's back in Chicago now, and we hang out with James a lot.
Yeah.
And we have nonstop interesting conversations. So I thought we got to get these guys on the Poundcast, and they were super into it. And here we are. Yeah. We put it together.
This is our third try, but it's a charm,
We did it. It all started when James said he doesn't believe dinosaurs.
I don't believe a lot of things
ever existed.
And I believe a lot of things.
Really?
I mean, you guys want to talk about dinosaurs, but it's kind of like you're starting up here. in
We're
the
starting
upper
at
echelon.
level. We're
Yeah,
starting
you're
at like
starting at a level where
okay.
it's like you don't teach a kindergartner calculus because they're like they don't even know what numbers are. They're like still working on their threes. So it's like I think a lot of these higher level, and I'm not positive about any of this stuff, but it's just 42 years on this planet, observing things, watching how kind of the system works. You kind of start looking at things a little differently. It starts kind of with 9/11 and the moon landing are really what did it for
Are
me.
you like yawning while you're talking?
Sorry. I'm just so bored. No, yeah, it starts kind of with 9/11, building 7. There's some things that are just kind of weird about it. And, once you kind of see that the people who are at the top levels of media kind of don't acknowledge that. And these are professional journalists who have all the, they have all the money, they have all the ability to look into things like a journalist would, but they just still like, oh, it's such a tragedy. And it is a tragedy. I'm not saying it like didn't happen. There's some people who think it's like, it's a hologram.
Okay, okay, let's stop for a second.
Yeah.
Now, clearly, James is in this conspiracy theories.
You can label me anyway,
Right.
Put me in a box.
Well, I put it in quotes.
Like,
I did put it in air quotes because I know you don't like.
I think people do that though, because then their brain could be like, oh, okay, this is a conspiracy guy. So we just need to, he's a little crazy. So you don't even really need to acknowledge what I'm saying because the word crazy is just so dismissive. It's just like, well, they're crazy. You call anyone crazy. A lot of celebrities have come out, one, I don't know, whatever, Kanye, whatever. We don't have to talk about that, but just calling someone's crazy is just dismisses everything they said. So you don't even really need to analyze it and you can just go about your day. And I think a lot of people like that because just going about your day is quite difficult. And then having to be like, oh, and the government's lying to us. Great. How, I got to pick up the kids at soccer practice. I just got a parking ticket. There's so many distractions in life that we don't even really have time to really comprehend or care about these things. So, and I think that's also part of the conspiracy is just to keep us thinking that we are just, this is all just an accident. We're just a speck of sand on a speck of sand flying through the galaxy and it's all random. And I don't know, you look into this stuff and it's like, I think maybe this is a special place and we're special people and call me crazy all you want, but I don't know.
Nobody called you crazy.
A lot of people have though. But
Are you saying
okay, well, we don't have to only talk about this stuff.
No, I love being quiet. If you have questions for me, I'd love to answer them.
Okay. We don't have to only talk about this. I'm just gonna say that we here at the Poundcast,
yeah,
we don't necessarily agree with everything that's said today.
And that's good. I mean, I feel like
but just let me finish.
Go ahead.
Also, say we are on a speck of sand in a speck of space or whatever you said. That doesn't mean it's still not special.
I mean, I think so, but I think it kind of makes you just be like, you look up at the stars and people used to see, like God or the creator. And now you just look up and like, oh, those are just stars. And those are it's just random. And like everything is just random. But you go out in nature and you're like, wait, these trees are producing oxygen and I'm producing CO2. It's just like, I just don't see the whole randomness. Like if I go into the kitchen and make a meal for my friends, it takes some like an intelligent artistic mind to make this meal. Like randomness is just like throw everything in a blender. Like I've never seen randomness, but then they use the idea like, oh, it's billions of years. And they're all used on children to make them think, oh, it's so big. There's more stars than grains of sand, or it's so.
But wait, but what if the scientific community came to that conclusion?
I think the scientific communities, like most communities, to be a part of the higher echelons, you need to go to school first for 20, 25 years. So even to get to the next level, you need to be it's taking a certain personality type, someone who's good at regurgitating what the teachers want to hear. If the teacher's like, I'm really right leaning or I'm really left leaning or I'm really into this space equation. You're like, I love this space equation. Your book was amazing. So you're kind of filing out, the real kids who are just really out there, they get kicked out. They're in middle school. They're at the special school with like the kids are like have daggers in their hands. Those kids do not join the higher echelons of the scientific community. I think people that have a mindset that's very much just wants to read and regurgitate and take that knowledge. And I mean, this is not all of them, But I also feel like people who go against the mainstream, there's so much money and so much power backing these huge organizations, whether it's the medical, whether it's the scientific, whether it's political, whether it's everything. And if you go in there, in the back of your mind, if I say the wrong thing, if I do the wrong thing, I'm out and I'm going to lose my mansion, my supermodel girlfriend, my house, or my kids, or whatever. It's so much, everything.
But okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you're basically
you're all off on way. It's way. This is randomness right here. This is going off. It was just a simple question, and then okay.
Well, my answers sometimes I pull. My brain's not fully like stay on target. It's not like Luke when he was trying to take out the Death Star.
So you're saying you're alternative.
I mean, like I said, you can if you need to put me in a box to make me seem more like, oh, okay. But I don't like labels for people because then I think it leads us to conclusions, especially. I mean, I like though that you're saying that I'm alternative based on my ideas.
But what I mean is you like the band Toad the Wet Sprocket. That's what I meant.
I've rocked out some alt, but I think that also leads people. They've kind of taken that whole alt scene and kind of. It used to be, I feel like when I was growing up, punk rock was kind of like Rage Against the Machine, and now I feel like everything kind of has.
Now it's like Peace Against the Machine.
I don't know. I just don't feel like
now it's Chill Against
really
the Machine.
Rebelling as much as we were, and we're kind of have like certain rules to these. I don't know, but yeah, you can call me what you will, just don't call me late for dinner.
Have you ever been late to dinner?
I have, and it's never a good scene. Everyone's already sat down, and it's kind of awkward. The chair squeaks.
So now you're early every time to be on the safe side.
It's better, yeah. It's better to be early. I work in the film industry, and what they say, it's all about punctuality.
What do you do in the film industry?
I make things, problem solving. I work in the art department, local 44.
Mm-hmm.
So
is there a difference between prop department and art department?
Well, it depends. When you're working a non-union, which I did for many years, you kind of do everything. The director will pick up a C-stand and be like, let's get this shot. And then as soon as you work enough, it's kind of mafia in a way. You need to do 30 days on a film that starts non-union and then goes to union. So it's kind of like you need to be in the right place at the right time. It could be your first day on set and you could join the union. You're not your first day, but your first job. Go ahead.
What is the difference between art department and prop department?
Well, prop department is a department in the art department.
Okay.
So props are usually everything the actor touches. So say there's a gun or a sword, it doesn't have to be a weapon, a computer, and you're really interacting with the actors more. So props are they usually are a little more put together. Maybe they have a bow tie and they have glasses. I'm like, hey, how's it go? They're like that kind of character. Then there's set dressers who just pick up all the furniture, pick up all the stuff, and will dress the set.
Right.
But they're usually not working on set as much. They're working ahead of the scene, so they don't have to be as presentable to, they're not interacting with directors and actors as much. They're more on trucks or at prop houses.
And James and Dave, you've become close friends in the last several months.
The best. Yeah.
Yeah. Me and James met years ago.
Oh, years ago.
At skiing, but only saw each other once a year or something.
Yeah.
But we were kind of forced together on some bunk beds on Mammoth Mountain.
No, I at my annual snowboarding trip, Dave,
and we became instant friends.
Yeah, we have similar personalities, I think.
But James just got into a car accident.
Yeah,
and Dave has been taking him to chiropractor and all.
We can talk about that too.
Is Dave is similar to you in that Dave is also a crazy conspiracy theorist as well? No, I'm just kidding.
See, he used the word crazy.
I know I did on purpose.
It's okay though.
I did it as a joke. It was a joke.
These are social norms. That
James, sometimes we say jokes, so you don't have to like.
No, I know. Also, it's a social norm to make a joke too.
Not a joke.
Like Toad the Wet Sprocket was a joke. and alternative was a joke.
I just noticed that. I'm not upset. I'm just saying
I might even
noticed-
just make a joke every single time I speak. Maybe.
I think
it's-
Brent might.
I
Have
think
to do
it's
that.
scary to think that I'm not crazy for a lot of people. Because if they
Hey.
really listen to me, they might be like, oh no. Like you build a framework in your mind from a young age of how to kind of interact with the world, how to keep you safe. And a lot of these things, who am I? This is what I've thought of recently is that who am I to come into people's brains with a sledgehammer and start being like, these are all lies. It's like, it's not that cool, I don't think. So I don't identify as a conspiracy theorist as much anymore. I try to look at like building instead of being like, these are all the things that are wrong, whether they're putting fluoride in the water, whatever. It's just like, well, what can we do? Because a lot of these people, it's like fear porn of like, oh my God, they're faking this and the CIA. And it's like, we get it. It's been happening for thousands of years. Like, let's move forward.
And Dave?
Yeah. So,
Dave's
So
been
to
sitting there
answer
for
your
15
question,
15 minutes saying nothing.
yeah.
Dave's like, why am I here?
no,
No, it's not.
it's fine. I'll interject if I need to. No, to answer your question, no, not necessarily a crazy conspiracy theorist at all. I do.
You're just a level-headed conspiracy theorist.
Yes.
I think I've been getting to him a little bit though. I think when I first started hanging out,
Let Dave speak.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know if you're getting to me as much as we're having a conversation, and we're just, it's not like you're saying you believe this or I believe this but I question things. I don't take things for granted. I take things with a grain of salt, and I don't believe everything that I hear.
Yeah, and that's good.
But I'm not a crazy conspiracy theorist.
Crazy.
Just
Yeah.
one grain of salt. That doesn't sound.
Yeah, I know.
That's not fully seasoned.
That's the best appetizer. Oh wait, the best seasoning in life is hunger.
Yeah, what kind of salt is this? Is it Himalayan? Is it sea? I mean, it's all sea, I guess, isn't it?
The iodized. There's another conspiracy with salt. Yeah.
So when I found out about James's car accident, seemed so horrific, and just I couldn't believe it. And I texted him right away. I said, if you need anything, if you need to borrow my car, if you need a ride, I'll give you a ride. And he actually took me up on all that stuff.
Yeah, Dave's been a great help.
So
Describe the car accident.
Well, I was headed on the 5.
I don't want to hear it.
I'd been up north, working in the Dirty Bird Festival, which is like a music festival.
Brent performed there before.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Brent, did you get into an accident on the way home when you did
Yeah.
that too?
I
Were you
did. I
driving,
actually
uh,
did
Brent
get.
did.
Chevy?
He did.
Were you driving a Chevy
No,
Silverado?
He got into an
Really?
I did get into an accident on the way down. It's very kind of gut wrenching, but I hit a deer actually.
Really?
Yeah.
On where? Just on a back road or a freeway or?
No, it wasn't a freeway. It was on, it's kind of a twisty road coming from where that was. And I was headed home at night. It was probably around 11 o'clock at night. And the deer just came right and it came out into the road, and I hit the brakes, and it just didn't stop in time. And it was so intense. The deer, it was a full antler deer. It kind of got hit and then flew up onto the hood and then up over the windshield and onto the roof. And then as the car was sort of stopping, then it fell back down. And I don't know what happened, but I like to believe that it got up eventually and ran off to the woods, but I don't know if that really happened.
Wait,
but
so
driving?
after that, you just kept driving or what?
You're just like,
my car was really kind of messed up, and I wasn't sure if I could drive. But I slowly kind of made my way to a gas station. Eventually, I'm getting out of the woods, and then I checked it out. Things were really messed up in the car. The hood was totally messed up, but nothing seemed to be leaking. It seemed like the car was drivable, and I kind of checked it out as much as I could, and I ended up driving all the way back to Los Angeles, and the car was drivable. Actually.
What kind of car was it? Did it have a hood like a blade like that, or was it you know, because you think then if you hit the deer, it's just gonna scoop it off like a ramp. You know,
It was a
This was
Toyota Corolla. It was a 2001 Toyota Corolla.
Was it by any chance lowered, like slammed?
No,
Get under the deer. Oh.
no, but I guess apparently I'm pretty lucky that the deer didn't bust through the windshield or that the antlers didn't go through the windshield and could have, you know, killed me in that kind of way. But yeah, it felt really bad with the deer. I stayed at the deer. The whole thing was kind of weird and kind of scary. I mean, I didn't know how close I should get to the deer. It was laying on the ground, and I didn't know, you know, I don't know. I was there for a little bit, and then I just at one point had to start to go. It wasn't in the middle of the road, thankfully. Like the deer landed kind of on the side of the road, but the whole thing was so crazy. It was really intense and sad too.
I did a movie, Night Moves, where we had a frozen deer. We picked it up from the parks department. Someone had hit it and they had the deer. So then we had to freeze it and we had it in this trailer. And we had to bring it out for the shot where somebody hit a deer, and it was kind of wild.
But wait a second. This ain't about my accident. What happened on yours?
Like I said,
he was on a head-on collision.
Yeah,
going
Let Dave
90.
Yeah.
Going 90 miles an hour on the highway.
Whoa, really? 90 miles an hour? Head-on collision?
And he was fine. And he's fine. Well,
insurance company is listening. I was driving 75.
Yeah.
Just to be clear about everything.
I actually wasn't there.
I was, where was I? Was it Dirty Bird?
And he jerked the wheel just a little bit, couple inches, and then the other car just clipped his corner of his car. Both cars are totaled.
Yeah.
The video,
so it's like
he took videos
like this. We hit like this, like we were headed like this, and I swerved, and he literally took my tires stick out like this much. So he clipped both my tires and ripped the tires off my vehicle. And then I was towing a tricycle in the back, and the back wheel sticks out. I had this electric tricycle I built, and it hit the back and then spun me around in circles. But if he would have been over, he was driving a Chevy Silverado 2500 with a crew cab. So that's like a massive truck with, 4 feet of cab, and he had and I didn't notice till the last minute. I look up and it's like,
he was just in the wrong lane. He was just driving.
He was drunk.
5 right before the Grapevine, he was going north. I was going south, and I'd been on the Grapevine for 3.5 hours. So I'm like,
it was on the Grapevine
right before you hit it. So
you're headed back to Los Angeles,
San Francisco area.
Oh, so it was on the straight up freeway.
Yeah, we were both driving full max speed, but I didn't notice. I was just like on the road pretty much by myself. There was a few cars behind me, no one around. So I'm just like looking around. And then right when I noticed, the truck's coming right at me, like boom. And I was like, and then it was swerve, boom, airbags. Like, cause 90 and 90, that's 180. So you see something here, normally you're driving towards it. This is like half the time. So it was pretty crazy. But then
he had fallen what was this during the day or the night?
Maybe he was drunk. There was like beer.
It was nighttime.
Bottles. I got some pretty crazy
daytime
video.
It was a daytime
4
thing.
PM. 4 p.m.
Wow.
The lights were on. He made videos. The guy's car, the top of the guy's car is smushed and his head is popped out.
Yeah, so he was alive. All these people had stopped to help, and his head's like sticking out. They had to get the jaws of life. And I just got out of the car. Like,
did you get injured in any way? In your body?
I did, my neck and my back. I was working on a knee injury. I mean, I've had a pretty beat up year. I like cut my finger off on my chain of my tricycle. I had a knee surgery. So I kind of re-injured some things, and yeah, my neck and my back are pretty banged up. So I'm going to like a chiropractor. My lawyer has me going to a chiropractor 3 times a week, and I guess it's helping. And
what did you do when you got out of the car? You were like looking at your body.
Bleeding. My brain is bleeding. My brain. I got an MRI. My brain's bleeding. And
just a quick tech note. It seems a little. Maybe Dave. Maybe just turn your mic down a little bit if you can, just so it sounds a little more balanced.
No, I think he's fine.
Okay, never mind then.
Compared to you, he's the same.
Oh, okay. So never mind.
I think we can mix it after. I believe.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
But I feel like I was kind of depressed before then. And like, I feel like I made a decision at that moment. Like, I can turn away and live, or if I just didn't do anything for literally, if I had waited a 10th of a second longer and the car had hit 2 inches over, I'd be dead. So I was like, I guess I'll stay alive. I mean, not that I want to die, but like, everything after COVID, just the world's just been kind of getting to me. I mean, I think it has to all of us.
Why are you depressed?
Just the knee injury, just the world, and feeling kind of isolated from people, because I'm so crazy with my belief system. And I think we just go through phases in life, and I don't know, I had a bad knee injury. And like I said, I was out of commission for 2 months. And so I was just laying on the couch and I discovered YouTube for the first time. Like I knew it existed, but I didn't know you could look up like duck whittling. So I'm like, oh, and I got YouTube Premium. So I just sat there, and that can lead to some depression. And then if I'm like, normally to get out of a depression, I go through a breakup, I'll run or something and be like crying through the forest, like, ugh. But you're like moving away from your problem or your sadness. But I couldn't do that. So I just sat in it and it just accumulated. And then
Wait, is this correlate with some of your, I don't want to say conspiracy, some of your alternative ideas? Is that because you were sitting there watching YouTube and you went down rabbit holes?
I think you can point at it's very difficult to point at one thing in someone's life. And I think it was an amalgamation.
Did you have these ideas before this?
I thought that we didn't go to the moon in high school. So I've kind of been on that track for a minute. But
no, we didn't go to the moon in high school. We went to the moon in the 60s before we were born.
In like the 90s, I was like, I don't know about this. And everyone's like, what? You're an idiot. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I am. Because I've always just been like, I believe that. But then people seem to like me. I guess I'm charismatic enough that I don't need to like be like, oh, I'm going to be just like you so I can fit in. But then sometimes people don't like me anyway. But I try to be nice and like a loving individual.
The thing about Dave is that he's really funny and outgoing and charismatic, but like you put a camera on him and he freezes up.
I'm not. Am I frozen up?
No,
I think I'm just talking too much. I'll try to pump the brakes like I did in the accident.
Well, let's put Dave.
That's one of the questions I had about why you wanted both of us to be on at the same time.
Yeah.
I thought James was enough.
I didn't think being on. Well, it's like when us three hang out. I don't know. We always end up coming up with hilarious ideas and stuff.
It's pretty funny.
I just thought maybe talking about an intro with a little conspiracy stuff would be like
horrific accident would make us all in a funny mood.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, the accident I described for myself, that was one big joke.
Oh,
by the way, in case you didn't know, but go on.
Yeah, I know. I was waiting for a punchline. The conspiracy me is like, this is a joke. There's a punchline at the end of this.
Well,
I was gonna be like, the thing is I was drinking and I almost dropped my beer. Or I don't know.
Well, no, when I went up to the deer to check it out, the deer took off the head, and then it was Howard Cosell underneath, and he said, "It gotcha."
Yeah, I knew it, but it's still good. The thing that does happen though, a lot. And that's the thing, like driving, you feel so safe, but then anything can happen. But then anything can happen anyway.
Yo, Pound Pimples, the holidays are approaching. So it's time to start thinking about what gifts you're going to get for your loved ones. And if you're looking for something to get for even the hardest to shop for, look no further with a personalized coffee subscription from Trade Coffee.
Trade Coffee is a coffee subscription service that makes it so simple to discover new coffees and make your best cup of coffee at home every day. Trade partners with the nation's top-rated independent roasters to send you coffee that they know you'll love, fresh to your home and on your preferred schedule.
Trade makes it easy and convenient to discover new coffees. And I have a bag right here. This here is a bag of Driftless coffee from Wonder State. And it's excellent, Brent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says on here notes of plum, toffee, and cocoa powder. But then when I drank it, it straight up tasted like that for real. I could taste the plum.
Oh, really? Oh, is that right?
Big time.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this is excellent. Whenever I go to a normal coffee shop now, I'm like, nah, forget that. I'm gonna go home and drink my Wonder State Driftless from
That's
Trade
cool.
Coffee. that I got from Trade Coffee, Brent.
That's great, man. That's great that you're doing your own thing now. You know? So look, treat yourself or the coffee lover in your life with Trade Coffee.
Right now, Trade is offering our listeners a total of $30 off a subscription and access to limited time holiday specials at drinktrade.com/poundcast.
That's drinktrade.com/poundcast for $30 off.
drinktrade.com/poundcast.
So what are some funny ideas you guys come up with?
I don't know.
They just
well,
kind of come and go.
yeah.
I don't think we write. Actually, I do write some down sometimes.
Well, we were at the mall the other day, and James said he wasn't allowed to go back to the selfie zone. He got kicked out of the selfie zone.
You had to be there.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Wait, what's the selfie zone?
There's like a place at the mall where you can go
Oh,
in
I've
and it's
thought
like
about
different backdrops and you can get pictures. You can go crazy in there, I guess.
I feel like when Dave and I hang out, it's like, and Doug, it's like, you know, those times in high school where you're just like hanging out with your friends and like don't really, I mean, I'm not working right now, I'm on disability. So we're just like exploring and just walking and just laughing. And it's really great. You know, it's been very therapeutic, you know, I think.
What's your,
Dave's been
Well-
amazing. And Doug.
James, I mean, it usually like comes up with some kind of, you know, like what we do, Brent. It's like an idea factory with these guys, you know.
Yeah. You got to give me something to bite on. I'm more a factory than a warehouse.
He likes to solve problems like we do.
I want to start
Ah.
a business solving problems. I was thinking of just getting some flyers and pinning them up around town saying problem solver. Like,
you know,
problem too big or small.
we might actually have some voice messages here and maybe
Yeah,
someone's
play
got
it.
an issue that we can try to solve. Should we look into that right now?
Let's do it. I really like talking to the person though, because there's always some more meat on the bone. than you
Well, we don't
initially would-
have that
I
right
know.
now.
I'm
So
just saying.
Well, how about this? Why don't
Great if
I
we
do
was in a
that.
hot tub? Why aren't we in a hot tub?
play
Podcast
some
now.
a message and see if you guys can tackle it? Does that sound good,
Yeah,
Doug?
sure,
Or
let's do it.
I could pull up some of the
I've
you know,
got-
some of the messages I got from people who have annoyances that we could.
All right.
Well, let's
Yeah, well, I
do
mean-
a voicemail first.
Yeah.
I have to actually plug the laptop in while I'll be listening though.
Okay.
Okay. I don't
So-
know. I mean, I'm looking at the transcript of this, and I don't know. This might not. We'll see what this is. I don't know what's going on with this. Let's see.
Yeah.
Hey, sweetheart. I'm starting a cult that worships you. You are the sexiest motherfucker I've ever seen. I want to give you a nice rubbing on that ass. I have a shrine of you in my closet, and every time I look at it, I finger my pee hole with a cucumber. And every time I ejaculate, I scream, Lanya. I'd just like to tell you one of the fantasies I have of you and your tight, deep, smelly poop hole. I would love for me to be able to first play with your poop cunt by putting large anal beads in it. And after your ass cunt has been played with, you can return the favor.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my sweating
I think
anus
we
in your
get it.
tongue and spin myself around like the Backstreet Boys. I could spend just 30 minutes with you. I would just suck your dick so hard that it would shrivel up like an
Okay,
empty
cut it.
Capri
Yeah.
Sun
Cut his
packet.
mic.
I want your huge cock
It's almost
surgically
over.
attached to my face so I can mimic Squidward. Thanks, Jiggly Butt. I love
I
your
hope somebody's
ass
listening.
Don't
hair.
talk
Oh,
over everything, please.
Okay. Well, did you guys have any advice for that guy,
Do you
or
have any advice for that guy?
I was
Or any-
thinking it would be
any-
funny if there was audio and someone was just like deaf and like listening and they're just seeing that like, "Whoa," or not even deaf, just like the words coming out. Be like,
It kind of
Well,
sounded like
and then
Dave. Dave, can you talk like that guy?
Did kind of sound like Dave.
Oh, yeah, suck your dick and do it.
I have advice
Get
for
out
that
your-
person.
Well,
I would,
It was very overdriven and
I would guess that person probably has some maybe problems with their parents, just to a certain extent. Maybe not. And that they may have been dealt with some sexual assault sometime. Maybe not. It's hard to get a read on people unless you're talking to them. But I
Here's
think
a-
to be that voyeuristic and vulgar and just kind of the normalcy of it is maybe helping them deal with maybe the things that they've gone through their life, you know. Because people that are really, I mean, sometimes you'll see, I'm just a normal person, and I was, raised with loving parents who always loved me, and I have a normal job, and I'm just going to leave a message like this. So it's like, I find that that can happen, but it's usually very rare. So I would suggest that it's tough without talking to the person, but it seems kind of voyeuristic, and but I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think.
Is there another voicemail?
Yeah, let's hear.
Pretend that didn't. I just want to
like the same guy.
I just want to pretend that didn't happen, and that guy just took advantage of our hotline just so he could.
We got to screen these, like,
just so he could.
I feel like these are questions.
Like, Jesus, like, let somebody talk for a second, please, James. Sometimes, yeah, he took advantage of our hotline just to spew his creepy stuff or troll us or something. So I don't know. Yeah, is there any more, Brent?
I think he really likes Brent.
I thought it was romantic.
Yeah.
I thought it was sweet.
Oh, okay.
I had a joke, Doug. That's the only reason I interrupted. I'm like, we should screen these, and then my joke was, this is the screen. You should do the ones we didn't screen.
I don't know if this is a problem or not. Well, anyway, we'll see.
Hey guys, I wanted to ask, is there a piece of media, maybe a film or a book or a TV show or anything, a piece of music that you really love, but the general opinion seems to be that it's rubbish? And I have another question. It's just for Brent. I know that you play a lot of retro games, and I wanted to ask, are you a fan of JRPGs such as Final Fantasy? And if so, do you have any recommendations? All right. Peace.
Well, let's answer the first question. Do you have something that
I just played a game, Tunic, which was incredible.
I played that too, James.
You played Tunic? Did you open the door up in the
I did everything.
You did the snowy fields door. How much guide did you use?
Nothing. I never use guides ever.
Really? You figured out all that stuff? Wow, that's impressive.
But also, I know Doug is not going to want to talk about this, so let's.
No, wasn't that incredible going through the instruction booklet? I mean, I don't want to finding the gold. Like,
yeah. I mean, I think we should let's talk about this after we stop recording, because I know this is going to be really boring for Doug. And
Doug's already got his phone out.
I was just gonna set a timer
something you love.
I was gonna set a timer for how long we can talk about video games.
I'm not trying to talk about it. I will talk about it with you later, though.
What about Outer Wilds?
Just give
something
that guy
you love that the rest of the general population thinks is rubbish.
Ooh.
What is
something? That's a topic anyone can sink their teeth into.
Something in the media, music, or movie.
Let me think.
Top Gun is something that a lot of people like, and I think is rubbish. Or wait.
No, it's the other way around.
Was it the
people that think is rubbish?
The other way around. Right. If something is rubbish, then it wouldn't be popular. So that's kind of like a difficult.
I would say a lot of things I used to like. I used to like D&D, and everyone thought I was a loser, but now it's cool. So I'm like, all right, I guess I'm cool now. But
I'm trying to think.
There's some there's some trashy TV that I like that the general population likes, but my friends think is rubbish. Like Dave, I would be watching Love Is Blind, and Dave would come in the room, and I'd say I'm watching a documentary, and then
I've said this many times.
It's more of like guilty pleasure kind of stuff.
I've said this a lot of times, but I think people of my kind of people who I know would maybe not appreciate the High School Musical trilogy that much, or think it's for kids or something or whatever. I don't know if they would say it was rubbish exactly, but I mean, I've said this before, but the High School Musical trilogy is just truly excellent, and I'm not saying that in any sort of removed kind of ironic way. It's truly they're very good, all three of them, especially the third one. Yes.
Brent, earlier you referenced Toad the Wet Sprocket. Kind of like, I mean, you were saying it in a way like, they're corny or something.
I didn't mean that.
Okay, but
I was just trying to.
A lot of people think maybe they're corny or something, but I used to like them a lot back in high school. And people could turn to, that's an example of like a '90s band that's like Google Dolls or something.
Yeah.
And no, but they have their earlier stuff is, I know this is cliche too, but like the early Toad the Wet Sprocket is good stuff. Sorry.
I mean, I said Toad the Wet Sprocket because they are considered alternative, right? And then
Right, but
also,
it's like mainstream, like corny alternative.
but
like,
their name is so funny sounding
name
too.
is stupid.
Toad the Wet. Well, it's just a funny sounding name. But talking about music makes me remember now something that I really do love genuinely, and people do think is rubbish, is smooth jazz. I've always been a fan of smooth jazz, and well, I particularly started getting into it in early high school. And people think it's really bad, a bastardization of real jazz and so forth. But I think smooth jazz is really great. It's its own flavor. It creates its own mood and has its own color. And it's very cinematic too. If you listen to smooth jazz while you're driving, it makes you feel like you're in a movie, and that's really cool. And I don't know, smooth jazz is cool. It has a lot of great stuff if you embrace it. And
I'm gonna have to agree with Brent on smooth jazz.
oh, really?
Yeah.
I found some George Benson records at the thrift store.
Yeah, breezing.
I was like, look at this cool cover. I want to check this out. And it's like the sweetest music. It's the smoothest jazz. He's like the godfather of smooth jazz.
I do think that actually it's funny you say George Benson, because he was, I think, probably influenced by Wes Montgomery. Wes Montgomery is actually known to be one of the first proto smooth jazz artists, with his guitar stuff. But I'll say this: smooth jazz has become a little more popular, I guess, in the last, I don't know, 10 years or something like that. But I've been into it since the early 90s.
I have something to say. I think the interesting question is, because I feel like there's always a niche that's gonna like anything, but I always find it interesting if it's like the high school football quarterback really loves like Les Mis, or like sings the show tunes, or you could say the person who sings the show tunes really likes MMA, where you're like, wait, so you're in this group who you're supposed to like these things that kind of fit the narrative of how you dress, how you act, who you are, but you're still willing to put your whole social structure on the line to be like, I'm going to go watch MMA. It's like, wait, we have ballet practice or whatever, I don't want to put people in boxes, although we all do. And I find that because you're always going to find someone that's into like some B movie that's like thrashy, and they're like, oh, but then if they're like, I love the Titanic too, they're like, what?
Right. So what rubbish is sort of depends on your sort of social circle.
Especially these days where we're not as dictated.
There's Dave's crazy friend Eric.
Yeah, don't lock eyes with him.
It's Dave's crazy friend Eric. Dave, tell him to move over back in the shot. Back in the shot. There he is.
What is that hat? It's cool. I like his vibe.
Dave, that's your crazy friend Eric. What's he up to?
Little saunter, like watching you.
Where'd he go?
Backed out of the room, like the back
He's
out.
going to the Grateful Dead cover band tonight. I think I'm gonna go. I don't really like the Dead, but it's gonna be a good time. My friends are gonna be there.
You go to Shakedown Street.
I don't know. I was at a bar last night. Speaking of music and smooth jazz, I don't know if this is smooth jazz, but I was Shazamming like every song this DJ played, just like one after the other, and it was Donald Byrd. Do you know Donald Byrd?
Oh, he's great. Yeah,
of course.
I thought he was just like a jazz guy, but it was like soul music.
He does funky stuff too, and
yeah, it was very funky.
So, by the way,
do you remember what you said about DJs? Your controversial statement.
Oh, I said that white people should not DJ. Is that what I said?
Yeah. And remember what I said?
Well, Dave, who was DJing last night?
It's open game to say white people this way, but then you would never make that statement about.
Okay, well, let's not go to that. I was just wondering, Dave, who was the DJ last night?
Well, she just I think was just playing records. I don't know if she's just doing it as a hobby.
But
she's not really a professional DJ. I followed her on Instagram. Her name is Olivia.
No, we don't need to know who she is. Was she white?
Oh no.
Thank you. Okay, that's what we're getting.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Ah, white. I get.
And then I said, what about me? I DJ.
White. Okay.
Oh,
now we know everything about.
Yeah, I forgot about you when I said that.
I think I had some other things that
DJ
I was
Doug
thinking
Pound.
about. We just kept talking about.
Yeah. they can come organically.
Oh, or MMA. I kind of like it. Like
Yeah.
whenever I don't, buy the pay-per-view, but
it is
I've watched it like
primal.
with a group of people, and it's like an intense.
Yeah.
It's like
Mm.
it's I don't know.
Rubbish. I think it's rubbish.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's rubbish, but
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, I mean, will the people that Dave, surround yourself with, if you're like, I'm big MMA, would they still be like, Dave, you can't be hanging out watching MMA?
Like, I don't seem like an MMA guy,
Yeah,
but like
I'm
watched
proud of
it.
you.
I watched it and I thought,
I'm proud of
You sound like one though.
Yeah, you sound, bro.
Because you sound like Joe Rogan.
Choke me out if I talk too much.
I just thought of another thing that maybe a lot of people might think is rubbish is old video game music. As you know, I like video game music a lot from the 80s and stuff. People just think it's beep noises and stuff, but it's very good, well-composed music. And
yeah, what's that one band, like 8-bit or maybe like a Castlevania cover?
I mean, there's a lot of them. The Advantage is one. Mini bosses.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's just another thing. But just to answer his, I'm not going to answer I can't answer that other question about the Japanese RPGs, but I will. Just contact me later because I just think it's going to be kind of boring for people for me to get into that. So I'll answer that question. Just contact me somehow online and I'll answer the JRPG question.
Hey, how much is nostalgia and how much do you think that the music is actually good for the 80s?
I mean, I would say 90% not nostalgia. Well, I mean, maybe 20% nostalgia, I'd say. Because a lot of it, I discover a lot of stuff I never even heard before.
Yeah.
And
I like it too.
I just appreciate the composition,
I think
the complexities of the compositions.
If you're able to make something that beautiful off such, you only have
limited hardware,
how many sound like beeps and boops, and it's like it kind of breaks down.
It's true art.
Something good,
It's true art. It's
like Rothko, it's just simple, just a blotches.
Well, it's
not
actually
like Rothko at all.
It's better than Rothko.
Yeah, Doug.
It's like Costco.
It's like Rothko. No, but Rothko is just a big orange. People.
No, I know. I've seen Rothko. I've seen the Rothko. The black.
For people who
the
don't
black
know,
painting,
it's like a big orange and then like a blue with a black.
No,
stripe.
but that's minimalist painting, whereas
this
video
is
game
minimalist
music. No, it's not. It's very complex music.
Yeah, it's complex.
8-bit, like Castlevania.
It is.
Yeah, it's taking limited hardware,
limited tools, but make
something complex,
complicated, like a compositions.
We can see these things from different. You watch a car accident, two people are like it was that guy. We're both right. How about that? I agree with you.
Good.
Could be, you don't want to tell that to the person who composed it.
Is there any more voicemails?
There's a lot actually.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah,
let's keep going. When you got to leave, Dave?
Do you guys think?
Sorry, let me hold on.
Do you guys think if you had a wandering eye, like one eye that went one direction and the other one was straight on, you would purposefully look people like straight in the eye everywhere you went to kind of try to troll them? Because that happened to me today while I was at the thrift store. This woman looked directly at me, with one of her eyes, and at first I was unsettled and thinking like, why would you do that? But then I thought, wow, pretty badass that you're just owning it and kind of using it to make other people like face it. So what do you think?
Maybe she had two fake eyes. And
no, I think
forward.
She doesn't. If one of my eyes was wandering and it didn't work, usually when you have a wandering eye, only one of them works and the other one is sort of like not working. And you're still going to look people in the eye when you talk to them. I don't think she's doing it to freak people out. But I thought what might be funny is if like the wandering one also moves, is look at people with a wandering one, like look away. So the wandering one aims at that might be fun.
So they're kind of like this.
My friend just lost his eye, a bottle rocket. He was at a campfire, someone threw a bottle rocket in and shot him in the eye. He still has it, but he can't see out of it. It happened a couple of years ago. Crazy.
I wasn't quite clear on what she was saying exactly. Was she saying that the woman was looking at her with the regular eye and just going like this or something? Or what was she doing exactly?
I think she was saying that she was getting looked at by both eyes. So like, because a wandering eye is always straight. So she was looking straight at her to make it instead of like that, because then you could tell like, oh, she has a wandering eye, but trying to hide it. But
Oh, so neither eye was looking at her?
I think they both were, but it's like if you have a fake eye and it that looks straight, you're always looking straight. So it's like,
No, that's not how.
I think that's what she was saying.
That's not how it works. I think a
What was she
wandering
saying?
eye is one of them is aiming a different direction.
I thought she said she had a fake eye. Maybe, I don't know.
She just said wandering eye. I wasn't.
wandering eye.
Oh,
Should we listen to it again?
I don't know. I'm more a factory than a warehouse. Like, what did we talk about?
Let's just go to the next one.
Where'd
Okay.
Dave go?
Well, whatever the case may be is, hey, look, next time somebody's staring at you like that, not in a combative way, just I think maybe try to match that look in a way that makes them make them feel comfortable. Or something like that, you know? If they're looking at you in any kind of weird way like this or whatever.
I've watched a lot of MMA.
You do that too. Oh, thank you so much. She's like, here you go. Here's your receipt. Thank you so much.
No, I would not look at them at all. I would kind of like look off to the side and be like, hi, how much is this book? You know?
You're saying to balance it, to yin and yang it kind of?
Like if someone's looking at you and it doesn't feel comfortable, look away, but then keep talking to them, but just
then
never look back at them.
With your eyes.
Then it makes it look like you have two wandering eyes.
Your whole face talks.
Yeah, or you have a wandering face. Oh, hi. Sorry, I have a wandering face. So how much is that?
A face talker. Hey, everybody. Kind of clownish in a way.
You know what, though? This show is brought to you by BetterHelp.
Brent, I've had some frustrating problems with friends and relationships lately.
Hmm.
Sometimes I wish life came with a user manual.
Well, Doug, life doesn't come with a user manual, but BetterHelp online therapy is the next best thing.
I know, Brent. That's why I use BetterHelp myself. I got matched with a therapist named Vanessa, and she's really helping me navigate a lot of stressful situations in my life lately.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people like me with professionally licensed and vetted therapists available 100% online. Plus, it's affordable.
So you just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler.
No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist.
Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/poundcast.
That's betterhelp.com/poundcast. Okay? Okay, next
All right.
next one.
I had to pee. I had a wandering penis.
Just wanders out. It's like Mr. Fantastic.
Here you go.
Hi, I had a question for you guys. I was wondering if sometimes when you do an impression in your head or, rehearsing it, if it sounds right and then when you hear it recorded, you're like, what the heck was that, man? Or also, if maybe you're listening to music with headphones and you're chewing food and you can hear the crunches, you're like, oh, man, am I being loud? Or can anybody else hear this sound? Or any other sort of things that you might be able to elaborate on that where, you might have an experience where you're not sure where something you're doing is loud to other people and if you're being rude by doing that, or if maybe we should all just chill out. So
Well, I always
anyway,
crunch.
thank you guys. Have a great day. Peace.
Well, I always crunch along to the music, so it's like depends what I'm listening to. So it doesn't distract me because I'm a loud eater.
I'm always fascinated when I see people on the street, walking around, and they're like singing. They have headphones on and they're fully singing along with it. Like, who What kind of people are those people? I
They were
I could
raised
never.
differently.
I would be so embarrassed to do that.
They probably walked around their house naked growing up, and it was like, whatever, if we're not taught that something is bad, I mean, I think we're born with some sort of morality, but if that's just normal for you and all your friends are doing it, and then you go to the city.
But doesn't your voice always sound bad?
How dare
If
you?
you're singing with headphones and you can't hear yourself,
It does sound weird.
always off tune.
If they're plugged. If you have like earplugs in, you try to sing, it's like, it seems off.
Yeah, what are those people?
Yes, Brent.
I have just had a sort of revelation. I've thought that was kind of weird, I guess, when people are singing out loud. But just now I thought to myself, maybe that's a great way to make friends in a way. I mean, if someone else knows that song that they're singing and that other person starts singing along, that's a cool connection, isn't it? So if someone's kind of walking out of the street and they're thinking, heal the world, make it a better, or actually they're really big and loud, make it a better place for you and for me. And then you start joining them for you and for me. And then you guys make contact. And then you think, oh, yeah, we're singing the same song. And then who knows? Maybe you get married. I don't know.
I think Dave does that.
I'm going to try it.
He doesn't sing, but Dave's he meets everyone. Anytime we go anywhere, it's like, you're like, we're going to get an ice cream. He's like, oh, by the end of it, the guy's like, let me get your number. You give me some recipe ideas. It's like, Dave did it again. He's very, people are very open to him. He has like a very open heart. And it's
by the way,
hang out with him.
I might try to just sing out loud, not even with headphones, just sing any song and see if somebody joins in. Yeah.
Well, if you have headphones on and you're singing out loud, then you might not even hear if someone else is singing along with you.
Well, that's why you got to get in
front.
You got to get in front of them. If they're doing that,
you get in front of them, make wandering eye contact with them.
Yeah, make wandering eye contact.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's like when I think about people that do that, it's not like they're the worst people on earth. Like, it's kind of entertaining, but it's also like,
they're good.
It's just weird that someone would do that. It's kind of, it just seems kind of rude or something, but it's also like, that's kind of funny. Like, it's like I'm embarrassed for them, but they don't care.
I am going to bring, I was at Firestone, getting my tire changed or something like that. And there was a
Is that a festival? What festival was that?
Fire Island.
It was I did it right after Dirty Bird. I did
after
Firestone.
Dirty Bird, you go to Firestone.
What was that island festival that was a total sham?
The Fire Fest.
It was a Firestone Fest.
I
was at Firestone, and there was this guy in the waiting area where I was, and he was fully loudly singing, and I thought, I got to record that. I actually recorded this I had my laptop with me. I just pressed record on the laptop and I got audio of him. I can share it right now if you want.
Please.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty funny because, well, a couple things about this. He's singing this song that's a well-known song, but his rendition, I'll call it, of it is so, I don't know. It took me a little bit to figure it out. It's a funny rendition.
Was he a cappella or did he have headphones in?
I don't know. I kind of think he didn't have headphones in, actually. I don't know. I think he was practicing singing this or something. But here goes. This is...
Don't stop thinking about tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. We get it.
I mean, the way that he's
don't
singing,
stop thinking about tomorrow.
yeah, he's going like this. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop. It's not how that song goes. Is what's funny about it.
Think that he was good? Were you like, this is good singing?
Well, in its own unique way, sure.
Because I think that's the barometer whether it's acceptable. Like if someone's on a New York subway and they sing like, "Wow, this is like a trained opera singer," or whatever, they're like, everyone's gonna get money. But if you really are like, "Bleh," people are like, yeah.
Yesterday's gone.
What makes us
Yesterday's
think that singing
gone.
is good or bad? Like, why?
He's going, right. Well, yeah, it's just
Why do
in
we
the
like
eye of the beholder.
this
But he
singing
goes,
and not this singing? Why? And it's usually a general consensus. Of like, this
yesterday's
is a good
gone.
noise.
Yesterday's gone. You know, he goes like that. It's just funny though the spin that he had on it because it's supposed to be "Don't stop thinking about tomorrow" or something like that. However,
No,
it
it's
goes.
don't stop thinking. Now I can't even.
I
think
know
about
it's hard to sing
thinking
it after
about
you do it.
tomorrow, but he's going. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. He's
He
like
goes
making
like
it
this.
sad.
Don't
He's like,
stop thinking about tomorrow. It was just so funny. And then he'd go, yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone. He was going, but he had that high pitched voice too. Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop. Anyway.
Good.
well, let's listen to another voicemail, I guess.
Yeah.
By the way, I've grown to really like that too, by the way.
You keep
Yeah.
listening to the tape.
Yeah, I've listened to it a lot of times, and that version of the song kind of gets stuck in my head. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop.
Maybe we could find him. That could be like a side quest in your life.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta find this guy and make a whole
This is-
doc on it, and it could lead you on some extraordinary adventure.
Here's a very long message.
Uh-oh. How long?
5 seconds.
I got a question. How do I make it in LA? Thanks.
It's a good question.
You get you become friends with Dave. Take it to the top. No.
Because Dave knows. Do you know a lot of people, Dave?
So not before I moved to Los Angeles.
And you did? Were you as friendly in wherever you were living before Chicago? or before?
People in Chicago are not open and friendly. It's in Los Angeles, everybody is so nice, and you can just talk to people. And even this like super hot model that I'm talking to, she's not into me. She's still talking to me and nice. And
warm.
And I got back to Chicago first day. I was at Starbucks or a coffee place or whatever, and there was some cup, or I was like, she just brought this out. I was trying to be nice to this person, and they all just looked at me like I was crazy. Like, why is this guy talking to us right now? They're just all
Really?
they're a little bit more guarded, and
I think people are nicer in places where it's easier to live, like tropical places, because it's like, colder climates. It's like, we need to chop this wood. We need to build the barn. If we don't do this, we're gonna starve. We're gonna die. So it's like,
yeah,
no
like
bullshit.
shut
I don't have
shut
time
up.
for your shit. And that's kind of how it's been. But in warmer climates, you're like, I got the day. And there's a lot of money in LA. Like, you can do like a weird job. Like, I'm a celebrity dog walker. I make 7 figures. It's like, what? You have these obscure jobs that are pretty chill. So people have I think people are just chiller where it's easier.
So making it in LA.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, I don't believe in
Robbie.
dinosaurs.
So I'm not actually making it in LA yet. I'm trying to, and
You've only been here what? 5 months?
yeah, 5 months
Off and on? 6 months off and on?
And Robbie, who just moved here recently, he lost his job and he was struggling, and he said you have to work harder to be able to live here in this paradise. Got to work a little bit harder.
You need a little luck.
Yeah.
Working hard creates good luck.
You do kind of need to know people.
Yeah, you go out.
But then
working for free is good. That's how I kind of got into the art industry. Is I would meet people at bars, and they'd be like, "Oh, we're shooting this music video tomorrow, blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Can I come and help? I'll work for free." And then you show.
Yeah,
up
I mean,
and work your
I've
ass
gotten
off.
on 2 podcasts from knowing people. I've done 2 art department jobs from knowing people.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Yeah,
saying
about, it depends what she wants to make it in. I mean,
yeah,
but I would
you
agree.
need some talent too. Sorry.
Porn.
Excited.
I would say I agree with you. You have to work for free. That's how I started. That's how I got that's how I, got into the business myself. I worked for free for Tim and Eric when they first started on their first show. I was an intern, unpaid back then those days. Now every intern gets paid because of the nanny state. No, I worked for free. And then Also, you have to be a likable person that people want. You don't have to be that good at something. You just have to be someone people want to work with. They want you around, even if you're not the best. So you have to have a good personality. You can't, if you're like really good at your job, but people are like, "Ah, that guy's like annoying," or, or he talks too much, or he's talking about dinosaurs and shit. I'm just kidding.
People still like you.
No,
That's
people
the-
love
yeah.
James. I mean, that's why I wanted him on the show, because you're an entertaining guy.
Yeah.
But
so if you're gonna believe in dinosaurs,
you're
you
fun to
gotta
be around. But
you got to be fun too, or else you're done.
It helps to be good looking. I mean, I think you cannot be. There's people, if they have the right look.
You don't have to have the right look. I mean, if you want to be
no.
on
I mean, if you're trying to get into,
Depends on who
I meant if you're trying to get into acting or something like that. You know,
Right.
it's definitely, if you're good looking, a not as good of an actor who's better looking than another person who's a really good actor might get the job. I mean, that happens all the time. Also, you know what else helps make it in Los Angeles? Having a diverse background has been helping lately, I feel like, for people, right?
Yeah. I think just finding people that you vibe with, whether you meet them out at a bar or at a cafe or like wherever, and then finding that they maybe are into something that you like, and then telling, hey, I want to help you. I'm going to show up at your house at 8 a.m. and just help you. And they'll be like, I really like it. And then they'll be like, hey, come back tomorrow. We'll give you, $300 because we like you being around. That's kind of the way I did. I just show up, and I used to build houses in San Francisco. So I kind of knew how to build stuff. I went to art school. And then I just started kicking ass and be like, I'm going to work hard. And then they're like, come back.
People ask me all the time, like, how do I be an editor like you are? And I say, just edit some music videos. There's wherever you live, there's some band, and bands want music videos.
Yeah.
And editing music videos, I don't think people love doing that. Yeah. Just offer to edit, or at least assistant edit stuff for free. Or if you want to get into comedy editing, go to like the Improv or what the local UCB or whatever. You just got to hang around, try to meet people, and then say, hey, I shoot videos. Because they all want to make videos now. You know, so you just offer to shoot.
Everybody has content they need edited, especially in LA. And I see all these people filming. I'm like, who's going to edit that?
I really would like to know, I guess, in what capacity you would like to make it in LA.
I guess if she's saying that, then it's probably like
Hollywood
in the
stuff.
showbiz
stuff,
in the entertainment industry.
Show business.
You got to go out and show up. You got to like.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like getting healthy. Like people are looking for some secret way, but it's like diet and exercise. It sucks, but there's some little tricks here and there, but really making it like work hard and get lucky. But I mean, there's little.
You can't just work hard if you don't have a job. But if you want to make,
if you get home every day, like say you have a job you hate, you're working at Best Buy and whatever, making not so much money, and you're like, all right, this kind of sucks. And you move to LA, but then after work you just get home and play video games, and you're like, why aren't I making it? It's like after work you could be editing a music video. You could go on Reddit or wherever, Facebook, and be like, hey, I'll edit your video for free.
No, like
and then do a good job.
Exactly. Yeah, you do if you have a day job. I used to have a day job, and at night when I first got into stand-up, I was like obsessed with it. You also have to be obsessed with the thing you want to do. So I would go to like almost every night I'd be at some like Josh Fadum's show, and then I started my own show, and then I was like at the what was that one called, like Comedy Death Ray? I'd go to all the comedy shows and just kind of absorb it and just suck it up, and then you kind of like meet people. So yeah, we've said it all.
I wrote them all down. Do you guys want to hear the list?
Yeah.
Work for free. Know somebody. Work hard. Luck. Be cool. Be good looking. Edit some music videos.
Yeah. And I think also the working.
Be obsessed.
It's about finding the right, because some people just like, they're kind of waiting at the pier for the new recruits, and they'll be like, oh yeah, come work art department. I'll give you $50 a day. And people are like, okay. And they just totally take advantage of them, because there's a lot of heavy lifting and bullshit to do, but just be sure the people you're working for free for are like, kind of give them a trial period. But if it's still like, you feel like you're getting taken advantage of, maybe try to, because the glitz and glamour of Hollywood can kind of blind you, and you'll get lured in to be like, oh, I'm gonna make it, Mom.
You
Send
could
me
also
Is
be
$50.
you could also be pigeonholed or stuck in your, stuck like I was trying to get out of editing forever, or just at least do other stuff. But that's the only calls I would ever get. And you kind of have to say, if you're an editor and you want to be a director, you have to like bargain your way out of it. Like say, okay, I'll edit this show. This is my friends did this. They'll be like, if I get to direct some episodes, then I'll edit it. Like if you want to level up, you have to like, you can't just agree and say, yeah, I'll do that. You gotta like you gotta like say what you want to level up to and keep bugging people.
Like, how many hours of editing would you say you did, Doug, before you got a paycheck for it?
Before I got a paycheck for
Before
it?
you start getting paid, like how much practice did it take before? Because I think a lot of people these days just want instant gratification. You can click on your phone and be like, give me pizza or everything.
Well, it
I'm sure
it took a lot, but while I was getting paid, I'd be doing stuff that I still do stuff all the time. I make little videos for Instagram that I don't get paid for.
No, I'm just saying I know you did a lot of editing. I know you did whatever.
Right.
Before.
I can't.
Yeah, I'm not even looking
probably
for a number, but a lot. Like
probably
thousands.
like 14 hours before I got like a really good paycheck, something like that. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying Doug works very, very hard. I see it. I'm like,
Man, I worked
Not
for
anymore.
free. I worked for free for 10 minutes, and I started getting paid. It was
Yeah.
easy.
it is. Well, we all
I'm
want
so-
things so quickly now, and doesn't always work that way.
Well, do we end it on that note? We've gone an hour, or we could do one
I'll
more
keep
voicemail
going.
and give him some.
Well,
one more.
there is one more voicemail left. There's one more voicemail left and a text message, but or we could save it for unzipped.
For another.
Well, we're gonna talk.
Oh,
We're gonna keep going after the main show for our Patreon subscribers, and
wow. Then we can
unzipped. We're gonna go
really
unzipped.
dig for fossils. Dig in. Fossil
Dinosaur.
fuels.
Do you want me to play this last message, or should we save it? Or
Let's do it.
Just play it.
Maybe just cut.
just
if it's getting
save it.
weird
Let's
or
just
too
save it for
long,
later.
just, like,
No, play it. We
we
can't.
can pause
end
and
it.
Talk about it. Like, you don't have to run the whole thing.
You can't say all that and then we stop it. Just play something, at least a text or something.
Yeah.
okay,
Let's play.
here we go. It's a minute and 10 seconds.
Just wanted to ask you guys, it's a three-parter, but I'll keep it real quick. How did you guys meet? I always wondered that. Second of all, I noticed a silver lining of David Lynch films with the likeness of the comedy aspect. How did you guys get into that? And lastly, what do you guys feel for the future of comedy as far as, just in general, That's my questions. Wanted to keep it short and sweet. Hopefully you guys will peep this out. All right. Thank you. Good night.
We've talked about when we met, like
We met back in Nam. We were
Yeah.
we were in the Marines, and we just we bought. We both. Doug was getting a tattoo of a snake on his.
I was working
lower back.
I was working for the Viet Cong. That's the weird part.
I was a POW.
I thought the war was wrong. And so I was like, I thought what America was doing was wrong. So I went and fought for the Viet Cong.
And me, I was a
and I captured Brent, and I had him in my little cage.
And we were playing Russian roulette with each other, and we just kept on not getting shot. And we thought, man, something's keeping me alive here. I don't know. We bonded on not getting blown our heads off. So.
No, remember Brent? We were playing this game called Russian Roulette, where there was all these butts. These naked butts hanging over this like 2x4, and you had to open your mouth in front of one. And if poo came out, you lost. We both lost. So then we were like, we thought that was so funny that we both lost Russian roulette.
Speaking of Russian,
They were making you play this game, your comrades or whatever. Your
Somehow I was playing it with you, even though I captured you. I was like, I'll play Russian roulette.
Imagine you capturing me
Deer
in
Hunter?
Vietnam, though. I'm a true U.S. patriot. Okay, what are you gonna say to me?
Brett is a deer hunter. Like the
Yeah,
movie,
I'm a
Vietnam.
deer hunter. You're the guys. Go ahead.
Did he hit the deer?
Wait, what's the question?
Oh yeah, that's right. I did hit the deer. I was a deer hunter.
And
Yeah,
then
exactly.
Deer
yeah.
Hunter has the Russian roulette. Like, did it no? They're in the
No, totally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we know. Yeah.
It's full circle.
No, totally.
They
Who
had this
would
thing
I
at
be? Who would I
Burning Man
be?
where they
Robert De Niro or
recreated
Christopher
that.
Walken?
They recreated that scene with like a cap gun, and they'd be like, "Ah," and you're like gambling, and then if you lost, the cap gun had a balloon and it would shoot blood on you, and then they put you in this casket, and then they pour like whiskey down this cross, and then a priest would come and be like, "He's alive." It was great.
What are you talking about? He asked me a question, and then you said,
He was
what?
talking about Russian roulette. And I was just saying, there's this little camp. There's like 4 dudes with a lawn chair and a little
Where?
poker table at Burning Man.
Okay.
And they recreated that deer hunter,
Right, the Russian roulette scene, right.
And it was like you got a balloon with like a tack, and it would sometimes explode. But when it did, they had a whole. But these are just dudes with like, oh yeah. It wasn't like a. It was just kind of side of the. It was fun. It was crazy. They had like an old casket. They put you in it and then resurrect you. It was wild.
Damn, I got to go back to Burning Man.
But it was,
Brent, I'm Christopher Walken. You're De Niro. Come
it
on,
had like a
of
level,
course.
a 3 production value.
I'm the guy that goes nuts, and you come back and try to save me.
Well, I thought you were Viet Cong though, but anyway, yeah. But if you were in the deer hunter, okay,
You said
yeah.
if it was us too, I'd be walking.
Yeah,
Let's recreate it.
I know.
I don't think I can recreate that performance of a lifetime. Let's save the other questions for Unzipped.
Okay, all I have is a text message, by the way. But
Wait,
yeah.
what did he say? It was like, how did we meet David Lynch?
David
I mean,
Lynch,
we've talked about
how?
this.
We talked about how we met already many times, so maybe
we met at a comedy show. Basically, that's what went down. I was running my own comedy show, and I saw him at the Tomorrow Show, hosted by Ron Lynch. Speaking of Lynch, and
This
I was like,
2005, I think.
I was like, "What's up, G? That was pretty funny up there, man. I like your style." I was like, "I like you. You got a good look. I think we could work together."
Doug,
and you go like this. I go, "Can I get your number?" And you go, "You give me your number. Write it down." I was like, Jesus. And then I wrote my number down. He never called me.
He goes like
that. Then we had to meet at another show, and I'm like, "Remember me?" And he's like, "Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna see what you're all about. If you're funny, I'll think about it."
He goes like this. Doug came up to me. He whispered in my ear. He said, "I like your ass. Call me." He said, "Call me." And he gave me the number. I said, you know what? I like your ass. I might just call you. But then I kind of forgot about that ass for a little bit. And then I saw him at this other show, and I thought to myself, "Ooh, you were that ass I liked, or I was that ass you liked, and we were each other's asses that you liked. Let me check you out. Let me check that ass out for a little bit." I did. Then a few years later, after that, I said, "Look, I was thinking about that ass, and I was thinking, I could work with that. Let me
stop thinking about that ass. Not stop thinking about.
It's been a few years since I saw that ass. I can't stop thinking about that ass. Ass is in my minds. Blew my ass minds with that ass." So I got the number, called it. I said, "Let's start working on each other's ass."
Yeah. What do you think the best pickup line for like a guy you want to work with would be? Just that.
I like that ass. Give me a call.
Like there's like, oh, pick up a girl at a bar, but what about pick up a friend?
Hey, what's up?
Dave,
Hey, I like.
How do you pick up a friend?
A non-sexualized opener for like that guy's.
Let
cool.
that Dave answer.
I know. I'm asking the question.
We understand it.
Oh, you guys are asking me a question?
Yeah.
What's your pickup line for picking
For
up
a
a friend?
For a friend.
For dudes. My pickup line for
Could be a
dudes.
girl.
For a friend.
Could be a girl. Could be.
I don't have a line. I don't use any pre-written lines. I don't memorize anything. But literally, it's people are just so nice and friendly. You can just talk to them, and they'll just talk to you. We're in line at the ice cream shop. I called everybody nerds, and they loved it.
Yeah.
How did you do that? Play that out right now.
So
We're at
my friend, 2 people were in line that I knew. But I kind of just shouted across the room and called everybody in the ice cream line nerds.
What did you
I
say?
I don't remember what I said. I don't know if I said nerds or.
Did you say, "What's up, nerds"?
Yeah,
Like
I
that?
think I said, "What up, nerds?" And everyone looked, and then my friends were embarrassed, but
I don't think a lot of people are ready for Dave. They're like, wow. I mean,
Dave
it opens up the whole room.
and now we're friends, and now I got a comedy friend from that nerd joke.
David, in Unzipped, we could talk about all the times you've humiliated everybody.
No.
Not humiliated, but embarrassed.
I've
embarrassed.
had some very horrified looks.
Yeah.
I've made some very weird faces happen to me.
I like it.
Coming up next on Unzipped.
Yeah, coming up next on Unzipped. If you want to listen to Unzipped, Poundcast.
I got a good line too for friends.
Oh, let's hear it.
Why don't your friends get with my friends and we can be friends?
That's creepy.
A girl came up
That's
and told my
creepy, no.
friend that, but we were all sitting. It was like a group of girls and a group of guys, and a girl came to our table and went to my buddy and was like, "Why don't your friends get with my friends and we can be friends?" It's like, damn.
Isn't
I go like this. I go like this. Is that guy bothering you?
Yeah.
So like a guy.
Yeah,
I'd
who's
be
like
is that guy bothering you?
He's
You
on
want
an
me to-
anniversary date with his wife. And you're like, man.
No, I go
Is
to
this
the
guy
I go
bothering
to the woman. I go
I
to the
know, I
guy.
know.
I say, "Is she bothering you?"
Yeah.
And then he thinks that funny. It's like, "Hi, I'm Doug. It's nice to meet you."
That's really funny. Is she bothering you? Excuse me, is she bothering you? Hi, I'm Doug.
Right in the middle. They're clearly on a one-on-one like intimate dinner.
Hi, is this girl bothering you?
Yeah.
Is this bitch bothering
Yeah.
you?
You want to go watch some football or something and get out of here?
No, you go like this. The guy's on a date.
Yeah.
You go, "Is this freak bothering you?"
Yeah.
Color a freak.
That's how you get your
And he's
friend.
like, he just thinks it's funny or something.
Is this girl harassing you?
I like that.
Hey, how about this? You know how sometimes strangers call you friend sometimes? That's a little something.
Yeah, what's up, my friend?
Or they don't say it quite
There's
like that.
worse
They'll go
things
like,
they can
"What can I
call
do for you, friend?" They don't say my friend. They'll say like,
Or
"How you
chief.
doing, friend?" I'm thinking,
Chief.
friend, huh? Okay, maybe that's how you make friends. You start calling people friend.
What about brother? That's a step up from that.
Right.
like Blood.
It-
We came out
right,
of the same
right.
vagina.
That's even more hardcore. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like
What can I do for you, brother?
I like saying brother though. I don't know.
What if
go
you
up to
start
a-
calling people?
Go up to a stranger, be
Hey,
like,
brother.
"Knock, knock,
Who's there?
I use it a lot in texting.
Mife.
Who?
My friend would be you if we get to be friends."
How about this joke? This is the text message. They just sent a joke actually.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Big fan of both of you and the Poundcast, of course. Here's a dumb joke that I thought I might share. Here's the question: what did they use to clean the wheel of fortune?
Is this a trip? Do they know? Oh, is this a joke?
It's a joke, and they have.
Oh,
there's an
I
answer.
have an answer.
Yeah,
Pat Ajax.
you're almost there.
That's good.
Oh wait, Vanna.
You're
Vanna
pretty much
Wipes.
there. You're pretty
Vanna
much
Wipes.
Wipes.
Can I buy
That's
a
pretty
vowel?
good, but no, this
Can we
makes a
play
little
Wheel
more
of Fortune
sense.
to figure out the answer?
Say
It's
what
what-
Brent talk.
It's what Doug said, but you missed a part of it. It's
Okay.
Pat's Ajax.
Oh, I got the. I got the
Yeah.
joke.
You said Pat
nailed it.
Ajax, but it's Pat's Ajax, which actually
Okay,
kind
Pat's
of
Ajax.
says his name better.
Pat
you know.
Sajak.
Yeah,
Pat
yeah.
Ajax.
Pat Sajax.
Sorry.
Anyway, that's from Jeff Schmidt from Corvallis, Oregon. Maybe you guys could do a show here someday. Thanks. And he, for some reason, sent a this audio file, which is on a different day, and I don't know what this is, but I'll just play a little bit of it here.
I don't know. This is some good stuff here, buddy.
Anyway, that's just some track. I don't know. I don't know what the.
Doug-ish.
I mean, there's more to it. It's a 3-minute track. Well, I don't know.
I don't know what to do there. Maybe we'll put it up on the Patreon or put it at the end of the episode or something.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Maybe someone could edit it into a music video for free.
Yeah.
Then get their big chance. They can fly themselves out to LA, pay for a hotel.
If you want to keep listening to this wonderful conversation,
Yeah. You got to edit that.
If you would love to continue listening to this monologue,
Go to
no.
patreon.com/poundcast and sign up for our Patreon, because that's how this show is supported. That's the only reason we do this, not because we have fun, not because we like it.
Yeah. I'm just here
Um,
to spread dinosaur propaganda. So
maybe we can get into that in the Unzipped. And if you want to keep listening, go to patreon.com/poundcast. Quick shout out and thank you to El Bircho, Jack Birch, L.Bircho on social media. He's in town and I went skateboarding with him yesterday, Brent.
He'll be on the next episode.
And he'll be on the next episode if everything lines up. And anything else? Of course,
I mean,
thank you to Jackie Montana for helping out with our social media. Anything else, Brent?
I hope everybody. No, that's it, actually.
Thank you to Dave Dobie and James. Sorry if I
it's okay.
was cutting you off, but I'm
like
trying to be a host here, and I'm trying to.
I was thinking 4 of us. Dave and I are always like.
Yeah, I know. I was just trying to, keep the conversation lined up here, but we're gonna keep talking. I'm gonna let you go hog wild in the unzip. I'm gonna let you unzip.
All right.
I will say one last thing. I was going to do a show in Cottage Grove, Oregon. It's canceled, so don't worry about trying to find tickets.
Okay. Oh man, I gotta get a refund for those tickets. I was gonna go.
Yeah.
Dang it.
I would go.
All right. I'll see you next week, everybody. And if you're on a Patreon, you can just keep listening.
You stay right where you are.
Stay right where you are.
We're gonna think about
Where do you think you're going, Dave? You're not done.
You have to pee. I told
Bye.
you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. It was fun.
Been wandering
hanging.
Doug and Brent talking to each other. Doug and Brent, what will they talk about today? Doug and Brent are talking to some pimples. Doug and Brent will talk to their friends, and Doug and Brent talking on the Poundcast.